Hello, Mavs fans. Welcome to Pod Maverick. I mean, is it even after dark at this point? It is in the morning. It is 12:45 on Wednesday morning after the Dallas Mavericks played the Sacramento Kings on the Peacock NBC late game, which started at the truly horrific time of 10 o'clock, really meaning the tip-off was at about 10:20. The Mavericks eked out a 100-98 win. Josh, how are you?
I'm tired. And this game sucked.
It was one of the worst
games. I mean, we're probably. I can't wait to see the 12-year-olds that get mad because it's like, why aren't you more happy after a Mavericks
I've already got a few of them. I've
got
a few in my mentions.
I mean, that game sucked. That game sucked 6 ways a Sunday. Props to the Mavericks for figuring out a way to win it. One team had to win it. And the Kings are god awful. I mean,
they're so bad.
The Kings are. That is the King. Say what you will with the Mavericks. Obviously, the Mavericks don't have a good record, but they have good players.
Yeah. And they're capable of playing pretty good basketball.
Yeah. The Kings don't have anything resembling what the Mavericks did with that stretch beating Detroit, Denver, Houston. I mean,
I missed the game. I guess it was like 6 or 7 games ago where they lost in Sacramento. And they just kept rolling out guys. It's like I follow the NBA. I listen to tons of basketball shows. I pay attention, but I don't box score hunt game after game. I don't really look at the game to game stuff. So I'm not going to lie to people and say that I have watched a single Kings game until tonight. And I had simply forgotten about the sheer number of let's remember some guys ass guards who they kept rolling out. And it's like I knew DeMar DeRozan was on the Kings, and at some point my brain knew that Russell Westbrook was with them for some reason. But then they have Zach LaVine, and then they have Dennis Schroeder, and it's just the island of misfit basketball guards. And oh my God, what a frightening game!
Yeah, neither team play that was someone had to win by default. Neither team did anything particularly well. Both teams shot like crap. Neither team really took care of the ball that well. The Mavericks and the Kings both scored 19 points off of turnovers because both teams were committed to committing as many live ball turnovers as they can, even if the overall turnover numbers weren't horrific. Although the Mavericks had 17, which is a lot. The Mavericks won because they were bigger and they have better players. They had 15 offensive rebounds. The Kings had 8. And I mean, seriously, the fourth quarter, I don't know how many, the Mavericks got, I couldn't remember how the Kings couldn't get, they were forcing shots, but there were stretches where the Kings were just giving up offensive rebound, and the Mavericks were just getting put back. If the Kings grabbed 3 more offensive rebounds, they win the game.
Yeah.
That's how dire it was because the Mavericks weren't making any shots. And then, Brandon Williams hits a huge shot to win the game. It's only his
a really good shot.
It's a hilarious shot because the last time he's made one, so he made a 3-pointer on December 12th against Brooklyn. Since that game, he'd only made one more 3 on Christmas against the Warriors, and then he made one tonight. So Brandon Williams that's 8, 10, 11, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12. Brandon Williams was 1 of 15, one out of his last 15 3-pointers before he made that game winner. Shooting 18% for the season? That's just, and it was a no doubter. As soon as it left his hands, I was like, oh, well, he drilled that. It was nothing but net. So that was hilarious. The Mavericks are hilarious. When they got down 12 in the first half, I mean, you knew it was going to be a close game, right? You knew they weren't going to get blown out.
No, because the first, the Kings. I mean, you're looking at this box score, and look, I don't care. It's 1 a.m. Jason Kidd is tanking these lineups. There's some fuckery going on right now, and I'm just not interested in it. Play a goddamn guard. We did this for 10 games. It didn't work. I'm tired of watching the Mavericks get down big in first quarters because they're sloppy. They had 7 first quarter turnovers again. 7. They finished the game with how many here? Don't know what the team finished with. They finished 19, which is they finished with 16. So after that first quarter where they finally settle themselves, they have about 3/4. Look, I mean, the Mavericks are capable of controlling the ball, and so they get down big early. There was 35-25 after one quarter. The Kings scored 65 points over 3 quarters. The Kings can't score the basketball. They can't do anything. And so it's like to give up 35 points in one quarter, some of those off of turnovers and off of sloppy nonsense. Like, kid needs to stop screwing around at this stuff. Look, I know it's the Kings.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Cooper Flagg play point. I don't want to watch Cooper Flagg in the first quarter go stand in the corner while Anthony Davis gets to do his, whatever bumblefuck stuff he feels like doing. We'll talk about his game in a little bit. What a weird, his box score is such a riot. But it's like, I don't want to, like, who wants to watch that? What kind of development is what is happening there? Why do you think he's doing this?
I think because when they started losing again, they lost, how many did they lose in a row? They lost 4 in a row. I think he went to the guard. I think he went back to the double big because their defense has been a train wreck for about 4 weeks. And Williams and Nembhard in particular were getting roasted. So I think he kind of got I'm armchair psychologist, reading this from outside the room, but I imagine he was getting frustrated at the defense and felt like the only way that they could start getting some stops is by going big again, which is funny because I think it actually makes their defense worse when they play 2 bigs. And it's funny that, they start the game with 2 bigs and they give up 35 points to the Kings. And that's the only quarter the Kings really scored any points, because if you're putting Davis and Gafford on the floor together at the same time, one of those guys is chasing someone on the perimeter. One of those guys is getting drawn out and stretched away from the rim and not doing what they do best, which is standing near the paint and blocking shots. You don't want Gafford closing out to 3-point shooters. You don't want Anthony Davis closing out to 3-point shooters. And I believe Sacramento made, I don't know how many threes they made in the first quarter, but that was the quarter they made pretty much all their threes. I think they made 6 threes in the first quarter, and then they finished the game with 9. Because it's easier to get open threes when you're playing against 2 7-footers that can't rotate and can't close out to shooters. So it's kind of funny because I think he's doing that because he's frustrated with teams picking on Williams and Nembhard defensively. But I think the answer is you could not start those guys, but you could still just start Davis at center. And maybe you do, obviously PJ being hurt makes this difficult. So if PJ's hurt, do Cooper, Clay, Christie, Najee, Davis, and you're still big, and you don't have a weak link, 5'10" guard on your defense, but also, you're still playing a normal, modern NBA lineup with proper spacing.
Yeah. Just something else to watch, because it's the Kings are, again, they lost their previous 5 games by 24.6 points per game. They are awful.
Yeah, awful.
So,
yeah, I mean,
if you're if you're happy,
no one should be high stepping to the end zone.
I'm getting a lot of that right now, which is fine. Like, again, I celebrate the wins. If you want to celebrate the wins, it's fine.
Yeah. You don't need to be shitty and be like, I told you so.
No, the clutch time shit was great. Cooper scoring in clutch like that move over Westbrook, who was way overbodying him and trying to punk him basically, and Cooper just sort of casually spins off him, regains his balance, and hits another lefty hook. That was amazing. The way there was enough fun stuff from this game to where if you want to celebrate it, go ahead. I find myself frustrated because the Mavericks should have won by 24.6 points in this game. Like, they should have. And if you're in the I want them to win as much as possible, like, I just still have a cadre of fans who think that the play-in is a good idea. Sure, I can't control that, and I'm not going to tell you what to think. I don't really want to watch them get killed by the Thunder in the first round. That doesn't sound that fun to me, but it's neither here nor there. But this game is just it's just weird. I don't even really know how to talk about this one, because it was just so freaking ugly. And it starts and kind of ends with criticisms of stuff because the Mavericks should have played and won a lot better. They did win. So if you're looking to take away the bright side and just say, all right, I'm glad they won. I want you to talk about the good things from this game. I like Najee Marshall's fourth quarter. Let's talk about the good things first. Najee Marshall's fourth quarter, with the exception of shanking those 2 free throws, was
there.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. But his he scored most of his points in the fourth quarter. I think 9 of 15 in the fourth. Pretty impressive. What else?
I mean, Cooper was awesome. We haven't really talked about Cooper.
Was he awesome? Because I don't know if he got the chance to be awesome. I was going to criticize,
he had 28 and 6 with 1 turnover. That's 28? Awesome. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 turnover. That's pretty awesome.
That's
right. I know it's the Kings, but still,
no, the shot making that he did do, there's a couple of great transition buckets. If anything, I felt myself frustrated by his lack of opportunity in this game, and that's the thing that I don't understand.
That's not changing till the trade deadline. Yeah. It's very, very similar to what Luka was going through his rookie season when the Mavericks had Harrison Barnes and Wesley Matthews and DeAndre Jordan. Remember that before they got traded?
But I don't like.
And it's not malicious. It's not like they're trying to freeze him out. It's just it's Anthony Davis. He's gonna take the most shots. He's the all-star, all-NBA guy.
Davis. Let's just talk about that while we're here. No, let's go to a quick break and then we'll talk about Davis. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching the show. If you're watching this one live, you're a true lunatic. Value your opinions. And if you want to support the show in any meaningful way, you can do so by listening to the ads. That's really the best way. There's also some links in the notes if you're at all interested in doing that. We're going to put some ads in, and then we will be right back. All right. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to the show and feel interested, we record after every game. I'll stick around for the secondary show if anybody really wants to fire off takes about this one. I'm up. I'm not going to get more or less tired. So if you'd like to I'll run a Mavs party. And if anyone wants to talk basketball for, just 20 minutes or a half hour, I certainly don't mind. So stick around for that one. And we'll see if anyone is interested. They may not be, because again, 1 a.m. Okay. So I want to talk about the Davis thing just right now, because I'm very frustrated by it. If Anthony Davis makes 2 more shots, this isn't a basketball game. The Mavericks find a way to break it open. Again, his numbers are a riot. He's 19 points, 16 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks. But he also shot 7 of 23 from the floor, and I don't think he made a jumper.
No, he took 6 jumpers. He missed all of them.
So that means 6 jumpers. You back that out.
0 of 5. He was 0 of 5 from mid-range, 0 of 1 from 3.
Okay.
He was 1 of 9 in the paint outside the restricted area.
He had a tough. See, and that's where I don't want to be too critical, because I don't think he was off in that area. I thought he was a little soft sometimes, but he was off. He was not.
5 mid-range jumpers is way too many for him, though.
Okay, for the 5 mid-range ones,
he doesn't need to be taking 5 mid-range jumpers. He's not good at them. Why would you take 5 of them? I get maybe a couple here or there, but he should not be taking 6 jumpers. 3, 5 mid-rangers. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But
I'm so critical of the guy. I'm trying to find a way, because I don't want to be just play better. I felt.
That was one of his worst games since he's been traded here. That's kind of what happened. You don't have to pretend that didn't happen. That's what happened, because he was also pretty bad defensively for a lot of stretches. He wasn't guarding well. He wasn't getting back on defense. His transition defense was lackadaisical.
The emblematic play that stood out was right before halftime, where the Mavericks turned the ball over. The Kings push it up the court and they score. They feed it to Davis, who had not tried to get back on defense at all. It's fine. Sort of. I hate it. Whatever.
Yeah.
They feed him the ball at half court only for him to smoke the layup. He got defended. And it's just, that's the sort of thing where I'm like, come on. We killed Luka for this stuff. So he's got to eat it too. And he's a good defensive player. That's what I think is still driving me crazy. It's just there's times tonight where he was not there, and it didn't bite the Mavericks tonight. But if we would have come here and the Kings would have lost, we'd be roasting him because he would have been the guy. But they got away with it. And
yeah, if he would have played like this against Houston the other night, they would have lost that game by a billion points. Mm-hmm. They were able to get away with it because the Kings are the worst team. Like, I know that record-wise they're not, but man, that they might be the worst team in the NBA to me.
This is a fun comment. All right, so we got a comment from bro. This is the worst AD has shot in his last 9 games. Other star players have also all off nights, and you don't say a word. Well, number one, I don't cover other teams, so I don't know why I would talk about other players. He's the best player on the Mavericks team, so I'm issuing criticism against the Mavericks' best player. That's how that shit works. I ate Luka's lunch whenever he was shitty. And I can just tell people forget that stuff. It's fine. I got death threats for being critical of Luka. Come on.
When AD plays well, we say, we don't say he doesn't play well. I mean, he played great against that Houston. We talked. Wait, were you? Did you do the Houston game?
I followed it, even though you told me to go to bed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he was great in that Houston game. Yeah, he was bad in this game. It's part of the score. Anyway. You can't talk about this game without talking about how poorly he played, because that's part of why the score was what it is. If he played better, they would have won by 12 points.
That's what I led with. If he would have scored maybe 2 more baskets, I think they blow this game wide open. I mean, there was a lid on the basket for half the team. The Mavericks shot 41% from the floor. Yeah, Brandon Williams being like just pushing the pace in the fourth quarter was really kind of what got things going for the Mavericks, finally just really taking it to them. Just lots of very funny stuff in the shooting on this one. Max Christie kind of had his first bad game in a while. Caleb Martin continues to get hilarious minutes. I don't understand it, but he's finished a +1. So that's something. Klay Thompson died on the vine tonight. You know, the Ryan Nembhard minutes were weird. Like, I don't really understand why he wasn't playing. Do you think it's just like, is this experiment?
That was weird. I think it was weird because in the first half, his minutes were by far the best the team played. And it's not always in-game plus minuses doesn't always tell the story, but yeah, the offense was doing better when he was on the floor. And then he didn't check in the second half until like the start of the fourth quarter, which just felt kind of odd considering his minutes were the bright spot of the first half that they were down 12.
Right.
I don't know. I think if we take everything at face value, because people are telling me that he's doing all these weird lineups because he's tanking, and I don't want to talk about that because that's just too much speculation for me. Like, it's like, sure, but like I can't. Okay, he's tanking. Like, I don't know. There's just nothing to say. Like, it's a fun conspiracy theory, but it's there's terms of us talking about the games. I don't want to like talk about that.
No, I just it when it affects the score in ways where it's just like, oh, if they play a point guard, it's such a dumb thing. It's like, oh, if they just played a point guard, and really, okay, if you don't want to play a point guard, just don't play Gafford, Lively, and Flag together. Okay, like play somebody else, play another like wing-ish adjacent one.
Yeah. I hate PJ that. Being out hurts that, so I wonder if that makes a difference. But yeah, I think Kidd, if we take him earnestly, that he's trying to do what's best for the team, which we should.
Yeah.
I think he's just in a rock and a hard place where he knows the only times that they can have consistent offenses with one of those guards on the floor. But I think he knows, well, this also kills our defense. So I think he's trying to find some sort of balance where he can still get that good defense and still play these guys, because they have to play. They have to play. He's not playing D'Angelo Russell. Like, he's obviously pretty fed up with him. But if you don't play these guys, like, you're not scoring. You're just not. But then also the catch-22 is when he plays these guys, they can give up some big runs because of defensive lapses and because it's easier to pick on those guys. So I think that's why it looks and feels weird, because I think he is struggling with, how do I balance this so that my defense is still good, but we still score points? Because it's a catch-22. They're just so limited defensively, those two guys, despite how hard they play, and they give the effort. It's just when you're 5'10", like you're 5'10". Like,
Yeah,
that's hard.
I mean, and they were,
unless you're Chris Paul, like you're just gonna struggle.
Well, like in Anthony Davis, obviously can fix a lot of that. In that it's just him sort of being paint adjacent seems to freak teams out a little bit. I will say, for as critical as I was of Davis, his Russell Westbrook trying to take a step back three to win the game over him might have been the funniest thing I've seen this year.
Oh yeah, the Kings' final possessions were just. I mean, it's such. I mean, that sums up the difference in the two teams. Like the Mavericks executed their set, got Brandon Williams a wide open three, did what they wanted to do, and then the Kings' response was like, freaking, clown car, sideshow Bob stepping on all the rakes. Then they get the ball back, and then Westbrook shoots that shot, and then their final shot with 3 seconds left is DeRozan shooting a
Davis was everywhere that last possession because he guarded he guarded DeRozan all the way down the lane, and DeRozan was like, oh shit, like you could tell that was and I mean second to last possession. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, like that, because it seems like the Lakers exiled Westbrook out of Los Angeles. And they were all and Davis was on that Lakers team. And so it's like, and Russell Westbrook seems to take all that stuff very personally, which, I don't want to read too much into it, but there was 6 seconds left on the shot clock when he heaved that thing. I mean,
we've watched Westbrook enough. When he caught the ball and started dribbling backwards, I went, oh, he's shooting. He does that a lot. It's like his signature. That's one of his signature moves. I feel like when he catches the ball inside the 3-point line, he kind of just starts dribbling backwards. I'm like, oh, he's gonna. And they just sort of,
and that's where Davis was very effective because he did the I'm just going to shut down this whole portion of the floor, and he caused the entire Kings thing to panic because they really weren't interested. And I get this, the Kings guards really weren't interested in passing to the French guy Maxime Reynald. And then there was the other big guy who I had legitimately never heard of, Dylan Cardwell. And it's like those guys would pop on screens and they didn't even get looked at. So that was just the whole game. I mean, it was, I think I'm so frustrated because I kept waiting for the Mavericks to absolutely blow the doors off the Kings, and it didn't happen. And if we're in like this tanking adjacent position, because the Mavericks I'm pretty sure they're still 12th in the West, even after this win tonight, maybe they're 11th, whatever. It's like 2 or 3 losses put you back. Like this season's so long. I'm not really interested in ping pong ball watch yet or anything like that.
They're 11th, but they're still 3 losses behind Memphis for 10th.
And at this point in the year, that's makeable. Like you can make up that ground, but it's just the way the Mavericks, like, again, they lose more than they win. So it's like at some point you have to win more than you lose to make up some ground here. And it's like, if they're going to win one, I want to see them beat the hell out of somebody for once, which they just haven't done. 28th clutch game, which is an incredible statistic. Or they lose, and then it's like, okay, well, they lose, and we can kind of, project ourselves and talk about some of these guys that were playing great college ball tonight, because there were some incredible college basketball games on tonight, if you watch that. Anyway, it is what it is. Like, I really think I'm just cranky, and, I get the same people that respond to my tweets, and it's like, and I shouldn't give a shit, but I'm just tired. Got anything else?
I'm not really. I just that was just a bag. It was fun in a morbid,
I mean, the clutch minutes were fun. Like the last,
because then they started making all of a sudden they started making shots.
But 100 to 98 is a 1997 ass basketball score. Like it just doesn't happen anymore. So. No. Oh, well. All right. I'll let you go. We got stuff in Mavs Moneyball if you guys want to read it. I'm going to hang around here just to see if anybody wants to talk anymore or yell at me. I don't really care. I mean, one thing I want to encourage everybody this. Like, I like talking basketball. You don't have any fear of getting to an actual argument with me because it's basketball. We should argue about basketball if we all agree to be boring. That's the fun. So just consider that, and we'll be back. Who do they play next?
Gosh, I just had it up. Hold
Jazz.
On. Yeah, this is their
soft-ish
baby diaper portion. Because
they play the Jazz 3 times in 6 games.
No, they play their next 3 are Utah, Chicago, Brooklyn,
Denver.
Then they play Denver with everyone hurt. Yeah, they could be.
God, that'd be funny.
Yeah, they could win 1, 2.
They were like 3 games under 500 or something.
They could win 5 of their next 6 games and be what they would be 19 and 24. They could be 19 and 24.
They're definitely beating Denver again because they beat the record against Denver and what'd you say? Denver and the Rockets is 4-1.
Yes.
Which means they're 10 and 22 against the rest of the league. It's really funny.
Yeah, they've beaten Denver, Houston, Detroit, but they've lost to Sacramento, New Orleans, Washington.
God, that's funny.
It's a very, very silly season.
All right, you go forth. We'll talk soon. Okay. You have a good one, okay? Guys, hang around for Mavs Party. We'll be right back. Hello, friends. Welcome to Mavs Party. Yes, it's a Mavs Party at 1:15 in the morning because the Dallas Mavericks beat the Sacramento Kings 100-98 on Tuesday night, heading into Wednesday morning. If you want to talk basketball, it's really easy. You click the link that is pinned to the YouTube comments, and you can join and we can talk for a little bit. If you don't want to talk, then I'll go to bed, and that's just fine with me. We have plenty of games this month. The Mavericks don't play back-to-back until January 24th, 25th, which means doing these is actually less taxing on me now because I can do them and then I don't have to record the next night. I'm fired up right now, so let's talk. I got Killicam waiting to chat. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
No good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I'm a little like that. I did not have any fun in that game until the clutch minutes.
Man, I had fun in the second quarter when Coop was the primary ball handler, and everyone just kind of got out the way and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but gosh, man, Coop is so good, man. And AD just, gosh, like he kind of made up for it with his rebounding and defense, man, or a little bit defense, man. But he's just not a number 1 option, dog. Like it's painfully obvious. And he's just painfully obvious that he's not a 4 either. But part of it is like what are you talking about? I think part of just like the stagnation of the offenses. I think Anthony Davis those hissy fits, and and if they don't throw him the ball on the block, then they'll throw temper tantrum. So it's like so you realize, man, as soon as AD goes out, all of that like Coop. What we're doing with Coop kind of goes out the window, and we have he has a clear development plan. But with AD, they seem like they're just forced to just throw it to him on the block. Like,
I mean, look, I don't mind plays for Anthony Davis if his decision making is quick. I don't like when he gets it and sizes up and thinks about it and takes 4 dribbles. Decisive Anthony Davis is a good basketball player. He made a decision early in this game to attack the shit out of the Kings bigs, and he got to the line 7 times. He was just a little out of control. And do you remember early, it was probably like it was in the first 4 minutes. He got stripped 3 possessions in a row.
Yeah.
Trying to go. And it's like, at that point, just slow down. That's where Kid needs to be a better coach and be like, we're not going to do this for the next 3 possessions. We're going to do something different, okay? And Davis is a big boy. Like, I get frustrated with his commentary, but it's because I've heard him for years, but by and large,
He's a big boy.
He's been a pretty good soldier with this sort of stuff. I get frustrated with him because I just objectively, like, I'm going to associate with him with the Luka trade till the end of time.
And also, man, he's just
a frustrating guy sometimes, right?
Yeah, because his game is just so outdated and clunky. Like his game, he's not built for jumpers, but he consistently takes them.
When you say it's outdated and clunky, I think I would phrase
not outdated because it works now, but he's not good at it.
That's what I would phrase is he wants to play a way that doesn't befit his skills. Now, do you remember in the fourth quarter, there was a play, it wasn't even a play, it was almost like a broken thing where Ryan Nembhard drives all the way to the basket through the lane and comes out the backside, and then he basically
and then he cuts and then wide open dunk.
And it's like that. That's the Anthony Davis on the move cannot be dealt with. A big guy that's that good, because he had multiple dunks like that in this game. And it's like, can we do more of that?
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh my gosh. And thankfully Coop had a good game though, so like he won't lose the Rookie of the Year race right now, like it.
Do you love that discussion? I'm having a great time reading people talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, people.
I like Con Knippel, so it's really hard for me to be like, no, Cooper's he's better. I'm just like,
because Con's shooting is just so like he's shooting like
it's outrageous.
He's shooting like 2014 Clay.
Mm-hmm.
As a rookie, man, that's just insane.
So it's tough for me to get to being like,
they could do a co. There's like Grant Hill and
that's right, Jason Kidd.
Yeah, so like they could do a co-defensive rookie of the year. I mean, not defense, a
rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Well, and hear me out because you seem to watch a lot of basketball at this. What my takeaway from this is actually looking at these looking at the top, 6 or 7 guys in the draft. I'm really excited about the future prospects of a potential American-born MVP one.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that too because it was down for a minute, man. It's crazy. Like we got Cade. We got Anthony Edwards.
You got. I mean, like VJ Edgecombe is special.
Oh yeah, he's special, man.
I'm excited about him.
He's special, but like he's just kind of smaller. He's not small, but like he's a ripped guy. But like it's gonna be hard to really make 2 small guys, Maxey and Edgecombe, the primary. Like I think that I can work in the East, especially since VJ so his athleticism makes up for his size, but it's like it can be a little bit to where you kind of saw we been playing them like Max was killing us, but VJ is kind of hit and miss because honestly, well, I have to remember these are rookies, so they're going to get better. So yeah,
Edgecombe just gives me early Dwayne Wade before I hated Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. I see that. Because I do have to remember he's a rookie. He's going to get better, So yeah, this rookie class. I mean, especially, are we even sure that the 2026 class is going to be better than this year's class? Because everyone was saying this draft class outside of Coop was just in, but
so many of these guys are so great.
I mean, even the late round picks are like showing flashes. So I was like, man.
It's fun, man.
Gosh. Especially when you watch Darren Peterson. But
I like the guy from who was the Tech game tonight? Flemings. He was out of his mind.
Oh yeah, the UConn guy, I think it is. I mean, like the shooter. Man, that's what I'm saying. Like this draft class, just go top 10, and I'm good with it because you have the guy already. So like you're not looking for the guy,
right?
So you're just looking for either a 1B or a number 2. So let's go top 10, and we should be good. If this class is as historic as air quotation marks historic as everyone's saying there is, we should find someone in the top 10. So just keep doing this, man. Just keep having Coop. Man, he's so special, man. On defense, man, he made so many defensive plays. It was crazy. Like, gosh, his defense is it's underrated because people don't really like defense, but he is so special there.
Yeah, I mean, he made a couple of plays at the rim tonight that it's like if he lets that bucket go, they don't win.
Yeah, man. It's like he's just gosh, and then he's clutch too. Like he's both clutch and smart, which you just love.
Yep.
You know, it's just gosh, man. It was a kind of a rough match pitching game, but you know, I do think it was.
He was due. I mean, he's been just unbelievable. It's kind of hard to be like, hey, we need you to keep shooting 50% from three.
Yeah. So. Rough magic game though. I was disappointed, but part of it was it really him? Because every time, well, yeah, some of it was him, but a lot of it was just AD kind of barking for the ball, and then, but Najee, wait until he's ready. I don't know. It's just as long as AD's on the floor, man, I just can't. Like, he's not a bad player. He's just not a number one option. And
or he just needs to know when he doesn't have it and quit forcing it. Like I do feel like in the fourth quarter he didn't force anything.
Like he was definitely a positive in the fourth
it's
quarter.
Like, and they won.
But like it was just the first three quarters. He was just a net negative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I do. Well, hey man, I'm gonna get to Brian and then I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks for hanging out with us.
You're welcome.
All right, talk to you. Okay, coming up next, our man, Mr. Roby, who hasn't been here forever because he's abandoning me. What's going on, dude?
Nonsense, man. I'm just usually asleep during these nonsense games. And I stayed awake from this bullshit, and I honest to God wish I had just gone to sleep instead.
Rough game, man. It was the clutch time was fun, but I did not enjoy this game, and I want them to kill a team. Is that too much to ask? Like, I'm gonna go look at the thing. When was the last time they really thoroughly depantsed someone where it was like, oh, that was a game where we knew? I don't even think that they haven't had a game like that.
I don't think this team with this rotation is capable of doing that.
Oh, it's the Raptors game. The third game of the year, Toronto Raptors, where they kind of boat raced the Raptors the whole game.
Yeah, and even then, they gave up 130 points to the Raptors in that game. Oh man, yeah, that's the closest we came to that, and that was.
There might be others. If you guys think I'm wrong, correct me. The Miami game might count from early December, where they won by 10. They were up in that game by a pretty good amount, and then Miami made a run. But it's just they don't really have any like game where it's like, oh, we're going to destroy this team. And I think you're right. They're not built for it.
No, they don't have. Well, here's the thing: is one of the things that I noted, and I think I tweeted about it, and I definitely put it in the Slack. I thought that Cooper looked so much better and so much more under control as a ball handler and as like a primary ball handler compared to where he was early in the season when King tried this. I feel like if they threw him out there with any one center on the roster that is not Anthony Davis, where he's going to be demanding his high post touches that go no fucking where, like if you put him out there with a center and three shooters, one of them who can like dribble in a straight line from the corner to the rim, we probably would have had a game like that by now, where he just dominates the other team. This could have been.
And I think it's coming to, like Josh and I just briefly touched on the schedule. Like the Mavericks play the Jazz 3 times in the next 6 games. Like I know familiarity breeds contempt to a degree, but the Jazz are also like trying. I don't think they're trying to win at this point in the year anymore. Is that fair? Let me go look at their record here.
I was gonna say I don't know if the Jazz they shouldn't be trying to win, but I think Will Hardy might be a little fed up with that situation.
Yeah. Though if the Mavericks were to not like, there's just a real opportunity where people are going to be yelling at me about how the Mavericks are better and I'm an idiot in 6 weeks or in about 2 weeks because the Mavericks are all of a sudden like they're 19-24, 5 games under 500 instead of 10. So it's just which way I would I'm slowly creeping into like, all right, let's go get the best draft pick imaginable, but I also don't think. Like I'm very, very, very persuaded by institutional tanking is a pervasive disease arguments. Like I'm swung by that, and I would rather just let the lottery gods decide. But I also know that that's pretty stupid statistically.
Kirk, if the rotation choices that Jason Kidd made were, as Josh said, done on purpose with the intention of trying to shore up our defense and actually help this team win games, there is nothing institutional about this. This team is just bad and they're going to lose anyway. It took, despite all of what happened in the first 2.5 quarters of this game, it took the brain fart of all brain farts from Doug Christie at the end of that game for the Kings to come out losers. He ran a play when they got the ball back with 5 seconds left, where I don't even think he realized they were going to get the ball back. And when the camera panned to him, you could see all of the blood drain from his face and all the shit leave his hands and roll down his leg, because he was like, oh my God, I have to call a play right now. He looked back to his coaches on the bench. They gave him something. He called it. It was terrible because it had both Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan cutting towards the inbound and looking for the ball. In like a rub screen, almost like it's football. And really DeMar got like a horrible attempt off because it was all he could do in that situation.
Him hitting, like, we didn't really talk about it enough. Him hitting 3 threes was as preposterous as Anthony Davis missing as many as he did right inside. Like, there was just some silly shit happening tonight. And it's like, I just want a definitive win so I don't have to talk about the silly shit. I don't know. I'm sort of losing my mind. I think we're just kind of hitting that stretch in the season where you're watching these lottery guys and you're thinking about the potential future of pairing. Who's the guy that made the good shot tonight against
Kings to Flemings from Houston?
Yeah. Like, you watch a guy like that, it's like, oh, okay, that's special.
Yeah, look, you've got him, you've got Michael Brown in Louisville struggling right now, but I know what I'm seeing with that kid. You have those two guys, Jaden Quaintance, the center at Kentucky, Caleb Wilson at UNC, and then you got the top 3 guys. If you get a top 7 pick in this draft, I don't give a fuck about what happens outside of that. Do whatever you have to do to get a top 7 pick. Having top 7 odds is not going to be difficult, considering we're basically right there right now.
Yeah.
We can do that. If we jump, that's awesome. If we stay at 7, one of those guys is falling to us, and we are going to be perfectly fine. Do what you have to do to clear out the chaff on this roster. Get AD out of here. Get Gafford out of here. Hardy, Caleb Martin at some point. That's probably not happening anytime soon because that contract is putrid and he is super, ultra, mega turbo dog shit. Get Clay on his way to a contender or somewhere, whoever wants him, and will give us a couple seconds. Clear all those guys out of here. Gain some organizational clarity. Because they say the message that rolls from the top down is, everything that we're doing is going to be for the benefit of Cooper Flight and his future and making him the focal point in this of this organization. And yet we go out every game and we start every game by allowing Anthony Davis to put us in a 7 to 9 point hole by giving him shitty post-up touches that he does nothing with. And then he just kind of does that for like the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And we start in a hole, and then Kidd makes subs, brings in a guard, and then we start to actually play basketball, and we're playing from behind the entire game. Right?
Yeah.
So if you want to gain some organizational clarity, if you want to really orient this franchise around Flag, make it so that he can play basketball for all of the minutes that he's on the court. That would be a nice start. Let the basketball players play basketball.
Well, hopefully they'll do something where it's like, I don't want them to de-emphasize Flag. It's just, let's stop running stuff. Not Flag, Davis. It's just, let's not overemphasize Davis. Like it feels like the Celtics when they used to give Kendrick Perkins that early touch. It's like, look, let's.
That's like Kid when he gave Dorian the post-up touch.
Yes. Oh God, that was funny. But like with Davis, I would much rather get him an easy look, not a telegraphed look.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just he gets so much better going when he sees the ball go through the rim.
Yeah, if Anthony Davis were just like parked in the dunker spot, as opposed to park at the top of the key all game, he would get 16 to 18 points a game just off of putbacks and drop-offs.
Well, and he had I think of his 7 makes tonight. I feel like he had at least 4 dunks, maybe 5.
Oh yeah, because all that self-created shit he tried was terrible. It didn't work.
And it's like, oh, this is great. It's like, oh, you're gonna play with these guys. Like he's elite at some of this stuff. I think that's why I get so frustrated at him.
Yeah, because he knows it too. It's like you said earlier. He's not entirely lacking self-awareness. He is just still a bit delusional.
Well, I'm really bad at I'm really bad at communicating that, because I think a lot of people are like, well, he's just really good at these things. Why don't you see that first? And I'm like, because I see the other stuff way more than I see the things that he's good at.
Yeah.
That's just me. I don't know. I'm just cranky pants with this stuff. I did want to ask you something. What did I want to ask you?
About draft stuff, or
no? Because I'm going to berate you about the draft stuff another time, because it's middle of the night stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what I'll ask you, and then we'll wrap it up. So you seem pretty confident that the Mavericks are going to do something. Like, are you still living in that spot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I mean,
why?
I think that the only reason we haven't seen anything happen to this point, one, we were waiting for all of the available players that could possibly be included in a move or in a series of moves that we needed to make would not come available until December 15th. And then now, if they're for some reason still keeping the door open on kicking the tire on Kuminga and a pick or whatever the return would be from Golden State, January 15th. I don't think we need to be focused on that, because I personally don't really care for any kind of package like that. But whatever. They want to have as many options on the table as they possibly can and then make a move. So sure, whatever. I think that whether they are fully empowered or not, if Finley and Riccardi and Jason Kidd, because of course he has input on these matters, they have eyes. Kidd's one true superpower as a coach is he can determine if you put a player on his roster and give him 4 or 5 games and some practices to watch them, he can determine if that player is a wimp or a loser. One of the two. There are certain players, and you can tell by how he treats them from go. D'Angelo Russell, loser. Jaden Hardy,
he hates
loser.
D'Angelo Russell, man.
Josh Green, wimp. Not a loser, wimp. He was
not
never out of the kid doghouse.
Not a basketball player. That's Josh Green.
Physically talented.
Josh Green finessed some amazing money from the Dallas Mavericks.
I still can't believe it, and neither can Kidd. He never liked that dude, and it was very apparent with the way that he treated him.
He gave him chances too.
All the time. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The rosters were so bad at that point, he had no choice but to give him some games and say, hey, let me see if you can give me something right now. And every now and then, he would flash something that would make you raise an eyebrow, and we would all go, well, maybe it's this time. And Kidd would say no. And he was right.
Yeah.
He has a very keen eye for determining if a player is a winner, or at the very least, a player that he can win with or not. He is looking at this roster, and he certainly has input, and he is talking to Finley and to Riccardi, and they are doing the best they can, likely to convince whoever is at the fucking cadre of bullshit round table, Mark Cuban, Patrick DeMond, whoever else, that, look, this Anthony Davis thing, that was Nico's vision.
Yeah.
I hate to use the V word, but that was Nico's vision. That vision has passed. It was gone when you decided you were going to fire that dude. We don't need this anymore. We have this guy. He does everything we said we wanted the old guy to do. And we've got to focus on that. We can't keep letting this get in the way. He hates Gafford. It's clear he hates Gafford. He's been giving Gafford like sympathetic starts from almost the moment that, not since he got here, but since he got here and Derek Lively got hurt in the midst of that run towards the 24 playoffs, when Lively came back and was outplaying him, Kidd very clearly saw something even back then about how Daniel Gafford was going to react if he pulled him from the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And made Derek Lively the starter. That's why he waited to do it until we were already in the midst of the playoffs. And it was like, look, man, the proof is in the pudding. This guy's better. He needs to play.
Yeah.
And then you can't really say anything, right? And then we get to the next season. Who started? Daniel Gafford, because he's gonna fucking pout if he's on the bench. So he identifies pretty clearly and pretty quickly who is one of his guys and who isn't, and who he thinks he can make things work with. I think that there are so many guys on this roster that he just looks down that bench and he just snarls sometimes. I'm certain of it. He doesn't let any emotion out on the court in games. And this has been a running thing with him since he's been here. This has to be one of the more challenging years of his career because he just looks up and down that. He doesn't even have to turn to the game to get mad. He looks at the bench and he sees D'Lo just sitting there twiddling with his thumb or flipping a water bottle or whatever the fuck. And he's like, man, this was one of the games. Jason Kidd looked like he was dead inside the entire fourth quarter. And it ended up being worthless if, as I suspect, and this is speculation, the goal was to go ahead and lose this game. He looked dead inside, and it may have been for nothing because Doug Christie is a fucking idiot. But, but no, I think, to get back to the original point, I don't think there's any way that they can look at this roster and see all these guys who can't contribute, are unable to really help them in the ways that they expected, haven't really been able to give them anything of a bonus, are taking up space in on our salary cap sheet, which is most important because that's what they're going to go to DeMont with first. They're going to say, "Hey, look at this luxury tax bill that's coming."
You just reminded me. We got two people waiting, and I want to get to them because you and I talk a lot. But I do want to mention this before we go. I think that one of the things that gets lost, and I don't like this part of NBA fandom, but it's important if you want your team to be competitive. It's just the salary cap matters. And I don't think our fan base really understands just because Mark Cuban was always so active with stuff. And then Nico, to his credit, was active. Like they built a big team. But it's just like the Mavericks was where they sit this close to the second apron. They can't do anything. They can't do anything. And so it's like, unless this is the team everyone wants to watch, they need to start doing something else. And that's where it's like, that's sort of the core where I had a little bit of a social media thread today where I said, you know, the Luka, everybody just has to make some semblance of peace that Nico Harrison didn't get enough back for Luka Doncic when he decided to trade him. That element is gone and done and dead, and we have to live with it. Davis is the player that's there right now. If anything is going to happen, they just have to start doing something, because just sitting here, the problem actually compounds itself next season unless they do something. Now, to the Mavericks' credit, they've done trade deadline deals for 7 straight years. There's no reason why this year would be any different when they actually have things they need to move. So anyway, that was the thing that I wanted to talk about for a minute. I knew there was something. So,
hey, I'll go out on these 3 words: sunk cost fallacy.
Isn't that the truth, man? All right. Hopefully you come back next time. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Heck yeah, brother. Have a good night.
Bye. All right. Before I bring, hopefully it's Boz, I'm saying that right, up on stage, I'm going to insert some audio ads for the podcast. For the video feed here, I'm just going to go silent for 5 seconds because I don't know how to edit any better than this, or actually I don't know how to edit more efficiently than this. So be right back. All right. Thanks for waiting. Boz?
Hey, how's it going, Kirk?
I am past the point of tired, and I'm kind of just in silly season. Like I feel like this is what used to happen in college when I'd stay up too late studying.
All right, let me make this quick. I don't know when you called this, but I think it was summertime because it must have been during the Olympics. But you said that Peacock's broadcasting was like superb, and now with the NBA on Peacock, like on I think Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm actually excited for their games. I don't know. Have you caught a few yet?
I have. I've liked both Amazon and Peacock's things. I will say putting Derek Fisher on my television is an affront to God, and I didn't like it. But I will say, based on what my expectations were of him in that game, I thought that he and the guy that worked together actually did a pretty good job. The only thing that they did that was just totally preposterous was that Anthony Davis is a Green Bay Packers story during clutch time.
Oh my God.
Why are we telling us this? Like the game is on the line.
I don't know. It's at the end of the day, it's like the 12th seed versus the 14th seed. I mean, I think they're stretching for things, but yeah, absolutely. I noticed with Peacock, like for like the reporter, the person that like interviews like the players and coaches, every other broadcast has like, a very like symmetrical female, let's say,
Yes.
and for Peacock, they bring in this guy that looks like he could build you a fireplace and like keep you fed for a week. Like he's as tall, he's at least like 6'4", 6'5", and he's talking like straight to the players, like looking at them in the eyes. And when the players talk, they just zoom in on the players. They're very, I think they're doing something different, man. That and the intro, the starting lineup, like they do with the NFL. Like, I mean, what do we talk? What was it? I think it was Daniel Gafford. Like he named his institution that he went to, and then he said something about the dog pound. I'm like, I never knew that. Like,
well, it's great. Najee was the one that stuck out because he like clearly didn't want to be there. Like, cool, Najee, thanks, buddy. But you're right. That's sort of that element of it. It brings stuff out because I think the NBA gets so addicted to the transactional parts of the game that they forget that it's people. And or they have, and at least ESPN certainly did. So just the little stuff that reminds you that it's supposed to be fun is worth
absolutely. It. Like Najee was just there, so just so you wouldn't get fined.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that I mean, I think you're the one that shouted out, so thank you. Also, hey, just one little Mavs trivia since it's almost 2 a.m. Who played for the organization out of these two players? Doug Christie or Amari Stoudemire?
Both of them.
You knew that. I had to look it up. I saw Amari Stoudemire in a Mavs jersey. I started freaking out. I forgot about that.
Well, he was on what? I was on Twitter at that point. So that had to be like 2010.
Yeah, past the prime.
I remember he had this absolutely preposterous outfit in a post-game thing where he looked like M. Bison. And I took a picture on my TV and got it on. And it was when I had like 100 followers, and I somehow ended up on NBA TV because he just looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the Christie one is a great callback because, I mean, I watched that dude and that Kings team give the Mavericks so many problems. And he actually went to the same college as me. He's like the only good basketball player that's come out of Pepperdine during my entire life.
Nice.
So I've followed him forever. So that's a good trivia question. That's a real remember some Mavs moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think they panned to the rafters in Sacramento, and they had all those guys, Weber, that all their jerseys were retired from those Mavs rivalry days. So, I mean, that's always fun to see. Yeah. Hey, shout out to you, Kirk. Thank you for doing this. It's well past all of our bedtimes.
Oh, I'm gonna die. My alarm will go off at 6:30, and I'm gonna have to make the children breakfast and not piss off my wife. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time.
I appreciate you and Josh and the rest of the crew, and thank you for keeping this going. It's my favorite Mavs podcast.
It's very kind of you to say.
Out of all of them, it really is.
All right, we'll
like,
talk.
I don't have any money, but I will go back in previous episodes to listen to the ads to help you guys out.
Hey, the ad listening, people don't believe me on that, but I'm like, they measure that more than they do the downloads. So it's like, it tells advertisers something. So I'm grateful. Thank you so much, man.
Listen to it, people. All right. Good night.
Talk to you. All right, Mr. Ash Boying.
Well, good evening. Or good morning, actually.
That's right. What's going on?
Oh, didn't get to see the game. I had to watch some DWI videos. So
you did not clutch. If you can go watch the final 5 minutes, that was fun. Everything else you can ignore.
Yeah, from your description, though, I think I got more entertainment with my DWI videos.
I'm just so tired. I was at that point, and I'm past that point now because I'm obviously continuing to go with this. But it's like around the second quarter, I was so tired, and I'm like, we have to watch this horse shit. That and you know, it is what it is.
You guys started talking about trades. That kind of interested me. So
sure.
I think that the Hawks might be solving their Trae Young problem, and it might end up being a 3-way with the Mavericks because Washington's got some expirings that they can send to the Mavericks. Trae Young goes to Washington, and Mr. Davis can go to Atlanta. So I think that's a way to make some noise in the trade deadline.
I'm curious because I feels like there's a deal that's in like a framework that everyone has agreed upon within those three teams. But now they're sussing out the details and the things that we're hearing. Like the Mavericks are apparently asking for the New Orleans Pelican pick that
they are never getting that pick.
They're never getting that pick. And if they do get that pick, whoever bargains for that gets to become the general manager immediately. And if you guys don't know what pick we're talking about, if you just haven't been paying attention, it's the pick that New Orleans sent to move up so that they could draft Derek Queen. Which is arguably might turn out to be just fine because it's whatever. But the Pelicans are real bad this year. They might want that pick back. Is kind of the working theory. But they're never going to give that pick back.
My working theory on that pick is that about the second half of the season, that pick's gonna kind of start sliding because the Pelicans have no reason to tank. I mean, they're gonna try to keep winning games. They're gonna be playing all these teams that are legitimately tanking.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Utah, quite frankly, has gone into super tank mode, so they don't have to give their pick to OKC.
Yep.
But I mean, they're going to start winning some games that you wouldn't think they would win, and that pick's going to end up in the 7 to 10 range, which is not going to be as valuable as we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
But I think that's where the hang up is, and it's like I just I don't.
Well, I think what it is that what they really want to be able to say is, look what we got for Luka.
Yes, that's it's such an important part of this, and I think if you approach the trade that way, you're going to lose.
You're going to lose every time.
The Mavericks.
They got to get rid of Davis. They need to move off. They need to move off Clay. They probably should move off Najee because I don't think he's about as valuable as he's ever going to be.
Yep.
And he's not ever going to play for a Maverick playoff team because he's only got 2 years left on his deal. So, I mean, if they can move off Clay and they can move off Najee, trade both of those guys to Detroit for Harris, and that he's an expiring, and then they can actually be an under the cap team next season. But you get under the cap, you can start accruing some draft picks by helping other people take deals.
Yes.
So
yes, and that's how. And for people that don't really understand this, and if you're listening to this, I'm sure you do understand this because this is deep in the weeds, and that's what this podcast is for. That's how the Mavericks restock their draft assets that they could give them more bites at the apple. They might not control their picks from 27 to 2030 in a meaningful way, but if you have more bites at the apple, that softens that frustration that comes with the lack of control from those picks.
Yeah, and then you got to scout correctly, and you got to, quite frankly, as I think I've told you before, how did Oklahoma City get so good? I mean, why do all their draft picks actually seem to hit? Is because they've invested so much money and resources into player development.
Yes.
And Jalen Williams was not a shooter coming out of college, but they've got the best shooting coach in the NBA, and he's a 40% three-point shooter, which makes him a very valuable player. It's all about, at some point it's all about development, which is why I was really upset when they lost Shamgar, because he's the best ball handling coach in the NBA. PJ could use that.
Right.
I just even Max, give Max a handle, and he's probably deadly. So I want them to invest in player development so badly, and they just seem to think, well, if we just accrue all these assets, then everything will just work out. No, it doesn't do that. You got to develop players. So that's all I've got. And once you go to bed, you and I are probably the only ones that listen to this anyway. So
I'm always amazed at the people that really do take the time to listen. It's like I have so many different podcasts and things that I want to listen to. And it's funny, like some of my, I'm friendly with, I think, just about every Mavs content creator, or at least I try to be. If I'm an asshole to you by circumstance, I reach out to me and I'll apologize because I don't want to be on bad terms with people. But it's like I don't get a chance to listen to Nick, Isaac, slightly biased. I just don't get to listen to anyone because, but it's also probably for the best, so I don't accidentally steal their opinions.
Well, that's true, and you can listen to them after the fact. So, I
Right.
mean, sometimes they have pretty good opinions.
Oh yeah.
But I wish they'd be. It'd be nice if they went interactive as well. But I mean, then
Oh, I couldn't imagine doing Knicks. Like the Locked On dudes have like 40,000 YouTube subscribers. I have 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they've done a good job building their show organically, and like it's Nick does this for work, and it's like the people that really know what they're doing. Like Josh has his day job and his kid and stuff, and so it's like I tend to do most of our stuff and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I get occasional feedback from listeners and they're like, hey, you should try this. Like this one guy, Jonathan, who used to help me out at the beginning of the show. And it's like, I always try to take feedback. So it's like, there has to be, because I just don't use YouTube. Anytime I use YouTube, I end up like not doing my job for the day. Cause I just like watch videos like a drunk 6-year-old.
I'm ADD like that too.
Yeah.
So I go squirrel all the time. So,
That's right. All right. Well, let's talk the next night. Okay.
We can do that when they have an early game. Yeah. Go to bed.
All
right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Karam, welcome back. What's up, buddy?
Sick.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Do you have the plague flu that's like murdering everyone in the country right now?
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. It's just really bad cough and congestion.
It's a tough way to start the year. Hope you feel better.
I know. Yeah. I won't take a lot of time. I heard you guys talking about like three-way trade with Dallas. I have no idea what's going on. What's going on?
So the Cliff Notes version of this is that the Washington Wizards are interested in absorbing Trae Young.
I heard that, yes.
If the Wizards he talked about a 3-way, but I don't think it would officially be a 3-way. To me, it's more like a domino effect. Whereas if they move off Trae Young, the Hawks, then they would be more open to absorbing Anthony Davis.
I see.
So that's sort of the nature of that.
Also, wasn't there news that the Hawks were they rejected Trae Young for AD?
No, the Mavs don't want him, and I don't think the Mavericks, I don't think the Hawks are they're trying not to, it seems like they're trying to be amicable with Trae Young and send him somewhere where he would want to be.
He wants to be in New York. I mean,
I don't know, but that's not a thing.
The Wizard.
I mean, the Wizards are at least a team. It's like it's an Eastern Conference team. I think that what the holdup is in the Dallas end right now is it feels like too much of what the Mavericks want is publicly out there. I mean, that's one thing.
There is so Mavericks are part of a 3-way trade, and they're the holdup.
I've not seen anything that would be official, but like what ends up happening with some of these deals, this has been more and more the case the last several years, is that these trades between two teams become trades between 3 and 4 teams because it helps. It's like a lot of mutual beneficial things where it's like if they package all the transactions together this way and that, it ends up helping teams around the fringes. And so sometimes like 2 completely separate groups of teams join to be like a 4-team trade just because it makes more sense somehow in the finances. I don't really get some of it, most of it really.
Got it. Well, I mean, the trade deadline is what, like a little over a month. So what's your
5th?
What's your prediction?
I mean, I think the Mavericks do something. To me, the easiest guys to get off of and kind of most easy to most difficult is I think Daniel Gafford should become a Pacer. That seems like a thing that should happen almost just because they need big guys, and his deal is very inexpensive. I think Klay Thompson should go to the Detroit Pistons somehow. Ash Boying just suggested Klay Thompson and Najee Marshall for what's his name? But I'm losing my mind. But they have a big contract guy that's out there. He's one of their he's a 6'10" guy who can shoot, but also is kind of a wuss. I'll remember his name at some point. And then I think Davis is the hardest one to move just because he makes $55 million a year right now. So it's like you have to the in-season trades, you have to come within a certain percentage of matching salaries. Then you throw out the fact that the Mavericks are in this complicated area where they're over the salary cap apron and they're not allowed to take more money back. I also don't think they're allowed to consolidate salaries. There's some really tricky stuff going on. And so the deal has to be Tobias Harris. Thank you, Ash Boying. That's who I was thinking of for Detroit. But like the rules on trades are just absurdly complicated at this point in the season and with where the Mavericks are salary cap wise.
Yeah. I just want to say before I let you go, I think it's funny as hell that Luka got traded before Trey.
It's wild, right? Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well.
And Trey wants to be traded. Luka didn't. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm still bitter.
Hey, you're allowed to be bitter as long as you want to be. I try not to be too openly bitter about it because people don't want to hear me talk about it anymore.
You got to do what you got to do. I get it. Well, thank you, Kirk. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on.
All right. Hopefully talk to you later in the week. Feel better. Talk soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. This has been more fun than it had any right to be, largely just because it's late. Whenever the Mavs win games, things should be fun. I know people don't want to hear me grousing all the time. We'll be back on Thursday. The Mavericks play the Jazz. They'll probably beat the Jazz. So look forward to that one. Another Mavs party. Everybody be good. Talk soon. Go Mavs.